Hello guys, and welcome to a new Star Division 2 video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you game 2 of a best of 3 between Nilla and Jack in round 1 of the Season 6 playoffs of the Steel Division 2 League. Today they are playing on Slutsk, and on our left in the red team, playing on the allied side, we have Jack using maneuver group Tyurin and the Maverick deployment type. And on our right in the blue team, playing on the Axis side, we have Nilla using the 20th Panzer and the balanced deployment type. So Nilla is currently 1-0 up in this best of 3. Jack needs to take one back this game, otherwise he will be knocked out and Nilla will move on to the semi-finals. He's going to want to stop that happening for sure. Let's have a quick look at what's going down here. So Jack with maneuver group Tyurin, got 2 PTRS out at the top here with an Ognamachiki, 45mm AT gun and a Maxim. Further down we're going to see 3 Flamers, PTRS squad, Maxim, 45, 2 more Maxims there, another 45, 76 more off map at the start, Slutsk and Tanko Desoniki. And into the town, going to be 3 Flamers, PTRS squad, 45mm AT gun, 2 Tankos, 2 Slutsk, 2 Slutsk DP in M2 A1 half tracks, which have the 50 cows. And there's going to be a T-34-76 with 1942 and a T-34-76 Komroti, which is basically the equivalent to a 1943. Over on the side of Nilla, with the 20th Panzer, he has the Panzer and Flammenwerfer for the top side. Towards the mid, he's going to be going for 4 flamethrowers with an Avklara in a Jeep there. He's got 4 pack 184 45mm and an MG42 there. Further down, we're going to see, going into the town, going to be Stostrup with Sturmpires, Pioneerführer, Flammenwerfer in there with a Panzerschreck. There's going to be 2 FK-288s, which are the equivalent of ZIS-3s, the MG42, 2 Panzer Grenadier DPs. And towards the bottom side, onto the hill, he's going to be bringing in 3 Stostrup, 2 Panzer Grenadiers, 3 Panzer Grenadiers with DPs, Pioneerführer, and a Panzer 3L at the moment. Looks like Nilla's not entirely finished with his deployment. But yeah, let's have a quick talk about this matchup. Like, Tyurin's a really awesome division. It's my old favorite. It has really good medium armor and some pretty decent infantry to back it up. You do get like Slutsk DP. You got like Tankos. You got PTRS squads being better than PTRDs because they have like a box mag, so they don't have to reload every shot, and they can fire consecutively against transports, so they can pick off multiple transports very, very quickly indeed. So he's going to be using those to his advantage. But then you got on the side of the 20th Panzer, another very strong medium armor division, which makes a lot of use of Panzer 3s, Panzer 4s, and then has the sort of, I guess, generic Panzer Grens to back them up for the most part. It does have, obviously, access to the Stostrup in the early game, which is definitely going to help them out, but you know, nothing crazy about the 20th Panzer infantry. It's just, it gets a lot of Panzer 4s and can really use those to its advantage. So I'm curious about where all of these AT guns are going. It looks like they're kind of spreading out across the mid here. Maybe Nilla expecting some sort of push to come through. With the 20th Panzer, you're not going to get any form of kind of AT rifle, so maybe just using the 45mm as anti-transport. But the Stostrup getting into the town here. We're going to look for the early flamer kills. Oh, both Molotovs went onto the same position there. That was really bad. Stostrup will be able to get the better in extended engagement if they're not in cover, but the flamers there standing strong against the 2-star Stostrup. It looks like a flamer versus flamer in the middle. On the top side, Panzer Grenadier might stop these guys out in the open, which would be really bad. Like, the PTRS and the flamer will probably get killed off there on the top side. Looks like this is ZIS-3 firing away down the main road onto the Maxim there. M2A1 getting some shots up onto the ridge, onto this Panzergren. But the Stostrup have come in close. Off map is now coming down here, but it looks like the Stostrup might be ahead of it. They can't really fall back, so that wouldn't be ideal. Looks like a barrage being placed down onto this area with that 76 mil, like, or maybe even emergency, but I don't know. It looks like barrage. just by the way that it's coming down. So, looks like Jack's flamer got the better of Nilla's flamer, but is being forced back at the moment. These 45mm now have HE, so they're going to be able to clean up that flamer in the open. Stosh troop, one of them's killed off there. But Strelki not going to want to continue the engagement at close range. The Pioneer Führer does have the grenades, which is what killed the other squad. These Panzer guns getting forced off the hill, that's pretty big. IL-2, nice, that's coming in. Jack using that to take out the MG there. But the 45 still going to finish off the flamer, and the AT gun's gone. So the flag is secured in the centre by Nilla. This hill on the bottom side, though, looking precarious for Nilla right now. And Jack's going to be continuing to push him with these Strelki onto the Pioneer Führer. Pioneer Führer gets another grenade off. Stosh troop are not engaged just yet. If the Stosh troop managed to get a Molotov onto the second Strelki squad, maybe he can like pin them both down or something. But looks like this one engaged first, so that's going to get pinned. The other one's going to continue the engagement and probably win. Panzer guns on the bottom side. Looks like they're being hit by the Zis-3. These Zis-3s do have corrected shot, so he's able to actually use that as direct fire support to help these Panzer guns win the engagement across the open here. Panzerschreck did take out the T-34 in the meantime. Now off map coming in on the side of Nilla. IL-2 still hanging about, hasn't been contested yet. Panzer guns have been pinned and forced back in the open here. That's not good because it might open up the ground on the top side for Jack to make some ground. T-34 trying to push back some of these Ersatztruppen in the town. So Stosh troop still strong here. Like one squad that was in the building has now moved into the tree line, looking to finish off the last Strelki squad that is left there. These T-34s can't really move up because of the threat of the Panzerschreck at the moment. Just got to find a way to deal with that. But here comes the off map. That's done a relatively good job of pinning this stuff down, but hasn't really killed anything yet. See, both the two-man flamer squads not even affected. One of the Maxims got pretty low. These Strelki forced back. But otherwise, nothing crazy. Off map now coming back down in the opposite direction from Jack. And now the off map on the bottom side. This is going to be a very nicely placed off map. We'll do some serious damage to these T-34-76s. I'm not sure he's going to be able to kill them. Panzerschreck will want to get the kills in. The only issue I have with this off-map placement is it kind of prevents his Panzergrens from pushing up and getting into cover, and they might just get cleared out in the open. But this Panzergren's still being forced back by the Maxim. Flamer's going to have to kill off these squads that are approaching. We'll definitely take out the enemy Flamer here. Nice use of smoke there to just kind of make sure he's covered as he takes that engagement, because the Flame's going to force him out of the building. Flammenwerfer is going to have to do a runner, which it is. Off map's coming down, cleans up one of the Strelki squads, forces one of the T-34s back, but the Panzergrens did get caught out in the open because they weren't able to move into the tree line. The Panzerschreck also went down. It looks like an off-map strike landed here, maybe friendly fire onto that Panzerschreck. That would be really bad if it was the case. Another off-map coming in. Oh, 45 mil. It's going to get pinned down just in time by the off-map vehicle. Nilla does like to use his off-map vehicles aggressively. I guess it doesn't really matter if they die if they've used up all their strikes. So just using it as a stand half-track, try and pin down this infantry and then try and surrender them. Artillery once again coming down into the centre though. Panzer III looking for the engagement with the T-34. APCR not really going to be that useful. I mean, it's definitely going to penetrate every shot, but it's going to take more shots to actually get the kill. I think he would have been better off just using standard AP here. As you can see, the third shot lands on target. Maybe the last shot here will get the job done. There we go. Yeah, damage on the APCR shots is very low. Very accurate, but very low damage, and it's not ideal. Well, this off-map vehicle trying to get out the way of the T-34-76 doesn't quite make it. Panzergren's now moving into the buildings on top of the hill once again. Nilla looking to secure this area. Oh, but the T-34 gets a shot off into the Stoss troop there, absolutely rips them to pieces. Tankos versus Stoss troop at close range. Stoss troop managing to hold strong there and kill them off. The Stoss troop do go down to the T-34, but the Panzer III is coming into position now. Might be able to get rid of this T-34 and make things a lot better for Nilla on the hill. Like, with the lack of the Panzerschreck there, it does allow the T-34 to continue the engagements at close range like this, because none of these other infantry squads do have any AT. This flag's been lost though. As you can see, that's been cleaned out, and that's the flag currently that's making the difference, 13 to 11 in favour of Jack. Now Jack, since he's using Maverick deployment type, will want to get this game over and done with before the 20-25 minute mark. Otherwise, Nilla's going to take complete control of the game with his balanced deployment type in the mid to late. Panzer III is currently making a push. Doesn't seem to be much reinforcements coming into the bottom side. He's got one Strelky. Actually, that's just the Tankos on the way here. You can't completely concede this hill, because otherwise it just leads to losing the town as well. Because if you concede the hill as the red side, you've got to get across this bridge to reinforce. And if this bridge can be covered, no armor's going to be getting up here very easily, and it makes it very easy to push off any infantry that then comes up with your own armor on the hill. So Nilla's looking to get into that position, and if he can make that happen, it'll be really, really good for him. The T-34, again, APCR shots. If he just turned off the APCR, he'd probably be able to kill them a lot quicker, because the AP shell at this range still has really decent penetration. Like, it's still 100 mils of penetration at what, within 500 meter range. It's going to be pretty high penetration chance against the T-34-76. So I'm surprised he doesn't use AP more. But then again, as I mentioned, like, it's pretty much guaranteed hit with the APCR, and if a tank's already taken damage, it is potentially going to kill it. It seems like Jack's really putting all his eggs in one basket by just throwing everything into the town in the centre here for this one flag. He has managed to put his presence over the flag in the centre, because Nilla doesn't have any units close to that. A bomb does come in there. T-34 actually went down, so the Panzer III managed to get the better of it in the town. And this is what happens if you kind of pushing too deep into the town whilst not controlling the hill. You get flanked, quite simply, and you give your opponent the height advantage over the town, which gives it all the line of sight you need to pick off all of the squads that are pushing forwards. And it's not terribly difficult to make a defense in a town like this. So all Nilla's really got to do is just clog it up with a few infantry units, and it makes it difficult for Jack's infantry to move forwards, because Jack's the aggressor, so he's the one who's got to jump out the building and walk forwards towards the defensive positions of Nilla, whilst Nilla tries and takes complete control of the hill. So at the moment, things are looking good in terms of flags for Jack, but positionally on the map, I would say Nilla has quite a large advantage, although nice kill there, the Slutsk DP taking out one of the AT guns. T-34-76 will be able to trade quite well with a 45mm at range, because it does have the 90mm of frontal armour against that 75mm of penetration on that 45. But if Nilla continues to put pressure on this hill and control it, before more armour gets up here, he might be in a really good spot to just completely crush this centre push, and then make a counter-attack of his own. But at the moment, it seems like Jack has managed to get a couple of armour pieces up here. He's got an Su-85, which he'll likely use to cover the open himself across this town, and then he'll have the T-34-76 there ready to engage these Panzer IIIs that have already made some ground. Maxim engaging the Panzer Grenadiers there, probably going to take them out. I'm not a huge fan of these DP squads, I don't think they're that useful. I think standard Panzer Grenadier is just better because of the MGs, because it's not like the DPs are automatic rifles, they're still like machine guns. So at close range they're not doing any extra damage or whatever. So one of the Slutsk SVT got killed before it unloaded. Nice kill here onto one of the T-34s. But one of the Panzer III is going to go down in the town. Now we see the Panzergrenz and Ersatz engaging Strelki SVT. Strelki SVT, very nice squads. They do have 9 SVTs and a DP-28. Strong medium-range infantry squads. Nice BF-109 bombing strike there onto the AT gun in the open. Easy kill. Yak-9 now coming in. Oh, cheeky strafing run here onto this Strelki DP as well. Is there any AA here? I guess there's the Gepard. Maybe Nilla looking to bait the Yak-9 over the Gepard so that he can then engage it with the BF-109, but no. It looks like Jack's just going to respect the AA and back off, and maybe Nilla's going to go for more strafing runs. So Strelki SVT making short work of Nilla's infantry. Definitely getting an advantage back here. Really strong early game for Nilla so far, and he's done exactly what he needs to. He needs to get this double tick going. Looks like 11 minutes and 25 seconds until victory for Jack. So now what he's going to do is just hold on to at least 15-9, maintain the double tick until the end of phase B, and he should be okay. But he's got to maintain it. Panzer goes down there, that's a nice kill. IL-2 can continue strafing all of this infantry in the open, especially the Ersatz that just took back that flag. Although there is the BF-109 coming in. Looks like he's going to go for the double team onto the Yak, and the Yak is already damaged. Going to go down. That's going to leave the IL-2 vulnerable to the 2v1. The IL-2, maybe he's going to try and engage, or is he just going to try and run? He's going to try and run, but that's not going to be good enough. Or maybe it is. Yeah, the BF-109's there. Going to focus on strafing again. Continue the advantage elsewhere. Because it looks like Nilla's managed to break down the initial push that was coming through the town as Jack started to put more emphasis on the hill again. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea for Jack to put emphasis on the hill. It's going to be unsustainable for him to continue to push in the middle like this without control of the hill, and I think he was starting to realise that by the Panzer III shooting down on him. But he's just got to maintain this 15-9. But at the moment it's very precarious because he's got this flag, but only just with a small salient, and same with this one. And what Nilla's doing is just pushing Ersatztruppen onto these flags to capture them, and then what that's going to do is force Jack to have to come up and deal with the Ersatztruppen, which will then be covered by other units. So it puts Jack in a bad position, because if he can't maintain the 15-9, you can see it goes up to 20 minutes until victory, and then we'll be deep into phase C where Nilla will have a huge income advantage against the Maverick deployment type. So Jack's really got to make this happen sooner than later and maintain the advantage. We're now into phase B. Nilla's bringing in Pioneer SVT. These are actually pretty good. They match up to Strelki SVT quite nicely, and at the close range they do have the HE, so they're able to lob that grenade and do some serious damage onto those infantry squads. Strelki DP engaging Grenadier DP. The Marder looks like it's run out of HE ammunition. They don't have machine guns, so they're not able to help out much. This MG42 is going to move up and do that. Big push coming through here though from Jack. With the armour sort of building up, T-34-76s, Su-85, he's able to gain quite a bit of ground here. And if he can grab this flag and find another flag elsewhere, then he can get back to that 15-9. However, with the infantry dying on this hill by the looks of things, the salient is actually pushed back in favour of Nilla on the top side, which brought it back to 12-12, and that's not good. Jack securing the hill might allow him to get this town objective, but he doesn't really have time on his side right now. He's really got to make this push faster, because otherwise he's just going to run out of time. And these Marders, ooh, they're in a nasty position for these T-34s. That's going to be one T-34 going down. With this extra veterancy, they're very scary. Ooh, lovely crit there from the Marder 1. Bails out that T-34-76. Beautiful stuff. Turns off the APCR, finishes it off. That is 2 armor pieces down in quick succession to no reply. Neither of the Marders went down. That's really going to take the bite out of this overall push. He is going to grab this flag. That does push it back to 15-9. He's managed to get his influence over the one in the center as well. But the Panzer IV-G here does kill off the T-34-76, which is going to put these Strelki in a bad position. The BA-10M is going to have to find something like a side shot onto the Panzer IV-G, or maybe the ZIS-2 can help out there if it has range. Yeah, it does get the crew panic. Maybe the kill in the future. BF-109 is coming in with the bombing strikes. It's going to help out with some of the infantry on the bottom side. 2 T-34-42 is going to make it difficult for Jack to put any form of like projection off this hill to gain any more ground. Like in theory, you'd like to be able to get like these Su-85s to the edge here to be able to kill off Nilla's medium armor, so that you can then maybe push for these flags. But easier said than done, that's for sure. Panzer IV did go down on the hill. The Panzer IV-G is now being forced back in the open because of that, with the ZIS-2 there. But it's 15-9, 8 minutes till victory, nearly 18 minutes into the game. So if it reaches the 20-minute mark, Jack's going to start having a massive deficit in income compared to the balanced deployment type. It's currently 80 points in Phase C for Jack, and then it'll be 155 for Nilla, so almost double. That adds up very, very fast. Oh, Marder's again. Kill another T-34. Will he be able to clean up the second one? They trade shots. Panzerschreck gets the job done. The Marder doesn't die. Oh, beautiful micro here from the Marders of Nilla. They have made a huge difference. They've broken down so much of the medium armor that Jack's been trying to use, and now we see a Verflammen put in all of its missiles into this infantry. These are very low health squads. They are dead on the first rocket. I do kind of feel like sometimes if you are targeting infantry with rockets like this, it's not really worth using all of your rockets. I think it's only really worth using all of the rockets of the 280mm if you're targeting armor. But when you're targeting infantry, like only a few of them are really needed, especially when you're this close, to actually either pin down or kill those units, because then you can just have your own infantry units engage them and push them out. But either way, commits with all the rockets there. He has managed to capture back this flag, so it's only 13-11 in favour of Jack now. And although Jack's been in the lead for like the entire game in terms of flags, I never really feel like he gained enough momentum so far to really solidify a victory. And now we're going to be moving into the 20-minute mark of this game, where Nilla is going to have a huge income advantage and things are going to start turning around very quickly. Like there's very limited amount of armor on the map right now from Jack, and these bombers coming in aren't helping. That's a ZIS-2 going down. We got the MG in the open up there, went down as well. T-34s supporting Erzastupen moving up the hill. Nothing special there. But it does seem like Jack is being quite careful when he can't really afford to. So just moving into Phase C now. Nilla's going to be bringing in the Grilla on the top side to help him with anything he comes up against. These Grilla will annihilate these 37s very quickly. And with the Panzer IV to back him up, he can just continue the push through there. He's also got its standard Panzergrens now, coming in with those MG42s. But any ranged engagement between infantry is going to definitely fall in favour of Nilla now. Pioneer SVTs coming in on the bottom side to help the T-34-42. We're going to have to see if Jack can finish things off here. He needs to really get some decent trades going. But without the medium armor to support his infantry in the town, I don't expect him to make much ground there. Best bet really is potentially finish off this T-34, then use the Su-85 across the town to try and pick off like the Marder and the T-34 and stuff, whilst these Strelki continue to push forwards. That's the only way I can see that working. But now 3 more units of Strelki, ZIS-2 coming into the centre to help secure that. Maxim's making a push for that flag. It's back to 15-9, 6 minutes 20 seconds left on the clock. We've got Pioneer SVTs now coming on the top side, but the Panzer IV Grilla combo is going to be quite scary. The ZIS-2 is going to have a lot of work to do, and it's going to have to wait for these Grilla to get in range, Because this 2 only has 1,750 meter range, whilst the Grilla can fire at 2,000 meter range. And when there's 2 of them, that means only one of the Grilla might be in range at a time, and so you've got to kill the you've got to use the Zis 2 to kill the Grilla and hope the other Grilla doesn't kill your Zis 2. It's a very, very difficult position to be in. Nice strafing run coming in there onto the Zis 2. 37's not really able to do much there. Without the extra veterancy on the 37s, it's almost not worth buying them at all, because it hasn't really stopped any of these strafing runs or airstrikes from coming in throughout the game. The BF-109s have really done a number on quite a few units, and the Zis 2 getting into position again here is taking shots at the Gepard, I think that was. Maybe there's T-34, but it's going to get bombed out once again. The bomber coming right in the middle of the AA net, and yeah, easy pickings for the BF-109s. Another one coming in looking for that Zis 2, just getting rid of any and all AT that could affect his medium armor pushes. And what that will do is eventually just solidify his pushes and his position in this game as he uses more Panzer IVs to back up his Panzergrens and continue pushing in. So Slutsk going to get pinned down in the open there with those Zis 2 to back him up. He's going to get forced off that, and after 23 minutes and 7 seconds, Nilla realizes that he's run out of steam, or sorry, Jack realizes he's run out of steam, and Nilla's going to take the victory. And wow, look at that KD. 2,795 kills to 1,870 losses. Just shows that Nilla was trading very, very well against the Maverick deployment type long before he had the advantage. And yeah, it just never seemed like Jack had full control over his pushes. He made a very strong push through the town, but without the hill, it makes it very difficult to support that push properly. And it allows your opponent to get flanking shots onto your push, which is exactly what happened. A lot of the T-34s in the town were getting picked off by the Panzer IIIs on the hill once they got up there. And that was very, very unfortunate for Jack. I just don't think he solidified the hill as well as he probably should have. Because he did have quite a lot of armor presence up there for a little while, but he let it get picked off by the Panzerschrecks and so on. And yeah, it just kind of meant that the whole sort of hill fell apart. Nice kills from the Su-85 there onto the Panzer IIIs and the T-34s. So managed to get good use out of that. But all of the rest of his armor, like his T-34s, just didn't really do much. If you see, like, if we go over to losses, we'll see that I'm pretty sure all of Nilla's tanks traded favorably. It's like a Panzer III Alkin and a T-34 76 1943, I think is good value for money. And this one actually managed to kill 2. This Panzer III got a couple of infantry kills. The BF-109s killing all of these Zis 2s was really, really difficult to watch. Because you can buy these 37s, but they've got to be concentrated. Like, you've got to have like either 2 of them in the same place, covering units that are being attacked, or you give them veterancy and hope that they get some critical hits on the enemy. And neither of those was really the case. Like, he had 2 on the top side, but they weren't really protecting anything. If he'd brought in maybe 2 37s to the mid to protect the AT guns he was bringing up there, then that would have definitely been a lot better, and they would have had a lot more coverage over the map in general. So the placement of AA wasn't really ideal. But these Marders, really, really good value out of these. This one killing half-track there, killed the T-34-76, killed the Slutsk Tankos. This one killed a Maxim, T-34-76, 2 of them. Then we got the BF-109 that killed an enemy Yak and killed the Maxim and the Zis 2. Just loads of value out of those BF-109s, and really strong play with the Marders to get rid of a lot of the medium armor that would have caused him problems in the mid-game. So, very, very well played. And with that win, Nilla moves on to the semi-final, and Jack, commiserations to him, put up a great fight, especially in the first game. Really, really good game, that one. But yeah, unfortunately, I feel like he did drop the ball a little bit in this one, a little bit careless with his positioning of units, and it did cost him the game quite quickly. Nilla, it never really felt like he was under enough pressure from the Maverick to really crumble, especially considering how closely contested the 15-9 was for most of the game. So yeah, Sorry if my voice has been a bit rough this video. I am still having troubles with my throat after my illness, so do bear with me. But yeah, awesome game. Really enjoyed it. That is going to be the end of round 1. We'll move on to the semi-finals next, and we'll watch I think Gonzo versus Under the Sea, I think is Gonzo's next opponent. And then we'll have Nilla face off against Vesely. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.